Falling time, terminal existence, lived continuum, parallel breaths, divine grief, fall into the black. A body without context exists in infinity. To be is perception and deception. How do we live? Plethora, cornucopia, universal. Larger shells needing inhabiting. Do I feel whole? Filling the vacuum of space, warped realities intertwining. When will I be? Fall seems like an accident, and I can't stand to think that we progress on accident. An equinox denotes approximate equality between daytime and nighttime. An equinox denotes approximate equality between daytime and nighttime. The equinox is the only time when the edge between night and day is perpendicular to the equator. As a result, the northern and southern hemispheres are equally illuminated. It can be daytime in both the North and South Pole on these days. Extreme illumination overshadows an embrace of darkness. Extreme illumination overshadows an embrace of darkness. Hey yo! What's good? It's been so long. Bruh, you gotta be kidding me. This nigga. This nigga. This nigga. Them niggers.
It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
Hey nigger, it's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are? There's a curfew. You know.
They're designed to help people be better parents. They help keep our children out of harm's way. They give parents a tool to impart discipline, respect, and rules at an awkward and difficult time in children's lives.
What these laws do is penalize normal and otherwise lawful behavior. For example, standing on the street corner, and penalize the many for the misdeeds of the few. Quote from Norman Siegel, then executive director of the New York Civil Liberties Union. Do you think you could tell the difference between a 17-year-old kid breaking curfew and a 19-year-old kid just outside living his life? Extreme illumination overshadows an embrace of darkness.
President Clinton is a man that was just born white, but on the inside, he's a brother.
William Jefferson Blythe Jr. bought a house in Chicago after returning from World War II. An important provision of the GI Bill was low-interest, zero-down payment home loans for servicemen, with more favorable terms for new construction compared to existing housing. While driving from Chicago to Arkansas to bring his expecting wife back up north, William crashed and died 3 months before his son was born. In New York and the northern New Jersey suburbs, fewer than 100 of the 67,000 mortgages insured by the GI Bill supported home purchases by non-whites. William Jefferson Blythe III was born on August 19, 1946, and in 1961 he would formally go by Bill Clinton. The GI Bill allowed white veterans to emigrate from cities to the suburbs where there was improved access to interstate highways, low-interest mortgages, and colleges. The white flight of white veterans were rapidly replaced with black veterans and people moving into the cities. By 1967, Newark was one of the United States' first majority black cities, yet was still controlled by white politicians.
I think that really basically there's a big thing of inferiority and superiority going here, that everyone subconsciously really believes that the Negro is inferior. And this is wonderful because it makes all white people so superior. And you have this marvelous feeling of being just a little bit better than all these black people. And consequently, when you have the black people moving into your neighborhood, it suddenly, the bottom drops out. I mean, if these people can move in, then obviously your neighborhood is no longer what you thought it was. It's no longer really very valuable to you.
Extreme illumination overshadows an embrace of darkness.
Dangerous world out there, and these rules are being set by people who love them and care about them and desperately want them to have good lives.
Due to other rules such as slavery, Jim Crow, segregation, housing discrimination, war on drugs, gentrification, eminent domain, discriminatory policing, blockbusting, racial profiling, redlining, police brutality, predatory lending, black people are more inclined to fall into the cycle of poverty. Fall seems like an accident, and I can't stand to think that we progress on accident. An equinox denotes approximate equality between daytime and nighttime. A body without context exists in infinity. Plethora, cornucopia, universal, filling the vacuum of space. Larger shells needing inhabiting. To be is perception and deception. Warped realities intertwining. How do we live? Do I feel whole? When will I be? Falling time, terminal existence, lived continuum, parallel breaths. Divine grief, fall into the black.